Hi, everybody. I'm Roberta Gonzales, and thank you for joining us for Visit Mendocino County. Magic is real. We have so many things to talk about today. Great kids' activities, but mostly we want to talk about the hiking and the biking here in Ukiah, as well as over the hill towards the coast in Fort Bragg. So stay with us for Visit Mendocino County. Magic is real. Ukiah. You heard us on previous podcasts talk about the art and the music scenes and even the historic champagne baths at Vichy Springs. But it's summertime, so let's head outdoors and talk to Neil Davis, Director of Community Services for the City of Ukiah. Neil, tell me about where we're at today, because I could just close my eyes, wake up here and say, where am I? Except for heaven.
Yeah, well, it's Northern California, which is a little piece of heaven. Yeah. Specifically, we're here in Ukiah at Low Gap Park, which is a park that encompasses, part of the park is county and part of the park is city. So it's kind of co-managed between the two places.
So people that are just tuning in via audio or video, first off, Ukiah. Where is Ukiah and how many people encompass it?
Ukiah is about 2 hours north of San Francisco, and it's a really easy drive up here. All on 101, usually not a lot of traffic, certainly once you get out clear of the Bay Area, so you can get up here pretty quick. Ukiah has about 16,000 people in it, but we are the county seat for Mendocino County, and Mendocino County is 90,000 people. And so we're really kind of the urban center of Mendocino County, and the city of Ukiah grows to anywhere from 30 to 40,000 people during work days.
I've done a lot of visiting here in Ukiah, some fabulous restaurants, and I have hiked in the mountainous areas behind Vichy Springs, but I've never been here. Tell me about this wonderful location.
Well, one of the great things about Low Gap Park is it's really within walking distance or biking distance of downtown Ukiah, and it's an easy walk over here from a lot of different places. So it makes it really popular with the locals because so many people can walk right from home to come and recreate here. The park has a number of features. I think today we're going to be talking about trails, but there's also a skate park right here. There's a dog park here. There's the tennis court's not in great shape, honestly.
But there's pickleball.
But the people are using the tennis court to play pickleball. Yeah. There's actually an archery range. There's an historic disc golf course here.
Yes.
Well-storied disc golf course. Yeah, I'm not a disc golf player myself, but it was built, I think, in the 70s. Wow. And so it was one of the first kind of official disc golf courses that was built in Northern California, and it's stayed there to this day, and it's a super popular disc golfing location.
I also saw a guy back there, and he was playing Frisbee by himself.
Oh.
Big Frisbee park, too, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was making the Frisbee go out and then back. I'm like, how did he do that? It's a beautiful day today. No wind makes it even more spectacular to hear the babbling creeks.
Yeah.
Because you've had an excess of rain.
I wouldn't say excess.
You've had a deluge. Are you talking 53 inches in your winter season?
We've had so many drought years that it's hard to feel like it's an excess. It's wonderful to have all the rain. And it does. One of the nice things about this park also is that we do get really great wildflower blooms here.
Yes.
Right from where we are here, there's a Diogenes lantern right over here.
Are those the purple ones?
They're yellow. They're right kind of down there. There's a Diogenes lantern. It's a kind of calicortus. We've got some blue dicks over here. And so there's really wonderful wildflower in this area. There's some serpentine hillsides that's a kind of rock. And it's kind of a interesting kind of rock for people who like plants. So there's some really good plant life around here too.
As well as poison oak.
There is some poison oak.
But if you're hiking, you know what to look for.
Yeah, and one of the best trails that we have here, one of the most popular trails, is City View Trail. That's a trail that the Ukiah Valley Trail Group built in 2012, and it's pretty wide. It's 3.5, 4 feet wide for most of it. And so you can actually walk most of that trail. It's a 1.5 mile loop. That's kind of what we call a a lollipop loop. You go out, you do a loop, and then you come back on the same thing.
And that is obviously very beneficial for families. It's
yeah.
not too difficult, technical, anything like
It's a really easy grade. It gets you to some really nice views, hence the name City View. And so, yeah, it's a really nice thing. You can do about a 5-mile hike here if you did all of the trails that are here. Some of them are a little more narrow and a little more rugged, but City View in particular is a pretty easy walk.
And then you have more technically difficult walks as well.
Yeah, the one that we're on right here isn't really, I wouldn't call it a great trail. It's a little too steep, it's a little rocky, but it does bring you right up this creek. And, you know, we got this beautiful waterfall or cascade back here, and so it's really lovely from that perspective.
I'm hearing a lot of sound out here. There's a lot of birds and insects and frogs.
Yeah, it's a nice, healthy environment. The funny thing about it is that Low Gap Park was actually a dump back in the day. And it's just returned, they covered it decades ago, and it's just returned to nature now.
To its natural beauty.
Yeah, and so Mother Nature just kind of took care of most of that. There is really excellent birding here. A little earlier here, I know you were seeing the acorn woodpeckers, an old trail up there, or I mean an old power pole that's there, and it's a granary, so it's full of the holes that they put in, and they put all of the acorns in there. And so really great, a lot of acorn woodpeckers here, but we also have pileated woodpeckers, downy, hairy woodpeckers. It's a really good woodpecker range. And to finish out the list would be red-shafted flickers.
Is that the one with the red head?
Pileated.
Oh, that
Pileated
was
are big.
gorgeous.
They're the big birds that, you know, what was the woody woodpecker is based on a pileated woodpecker. So they're really big birds, big beak and a red crest.
That's
and
gorgeous.
You hear them here if you're going up Low Gap. You'll hear them almost every time you're up there. A little harder to see them sometimes.
And again, Low Gap, not just in its old days, decades and decades ago, was a dump site, but it also was for traveling purposes. I mean, thus the name Low Gap.
Yeah, there's a gap in the hill up here, and the road that goes up that direction was definitely a travel route towards the coast, probably even a route used by natives. I don't know that for a fact, but I think you'd kind of presume it. And so that's hence the name Low Gap. What
is your favorite part about this particular park and trail?
Well, for me, I mean, I got a little bit different perspective in that I love how many people are using it. As, you know, somebody, I come from a public health background. I was a nurse and a public health nurse. And so getting people active and healthy is what's really valuable to me personally. And so having the trails here and having them so close to the where people live means that people really come here a lot, and people are exercising a lot, and therefore it really contributes to the health of our community. But that's a kind of, other than that, it's just you know, just for me personally using it, it's a close by place to get a really nice hike and nature experience in.
If there was any benefit from the pandemic, I would have to say it brought people outside, outdoors.
Yeah. And that's persisted. You know, it's dropped off some, but yeah, there's still more people using trails than there used to be. We counted before the pandemic, there was about 50 people 50 people a day hiking City View Trail, and now there's about 100.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good for public health. That's great.
It is, and mental wellness.
Yeah, yeah.
This is wonderful. So when I hear the word hiking, sometimes it does scare me off or other people, because you think, okay, I've got to go to the sporting goods stores and buy my proper shorts and the proper top to repel the mosquitoes and my proper shoes. But you don't have to do that here necessarily.
No,
correct?
a good pair of shoes.
Yeah, right.
Good pair of shoes, unless you've got tough feet. Most of us need shoes, but really that's all it takes to get out hiking. You know, it can get hot here in the summer, and so of course you want to be thinking about, you know, covering your head and having some sun protection. But you don't really need special clothes or anything like that, just to go for an easy hike here.
What is the one message you want to bring home to people here?
You know, that Ukiah is a great place to come visit, particularly in terms of being able to get away from people. Like I said, Low Gap Park is pretty by Ukiah standards, very heavily used. but not heavily used. If you're coming from the Bay Area or even the Santa Rosa area, you're going to go up City View Trail and go, oh, there's not that many people here. If you go to Lake Mendocino, Mill Creek Park, another county park, these are places that you can go and get in a nice hike or bike ride and really hardly see anybody. And the same thing with riding bikes. Road bike riding, we have really good road bike riding here, really good gravel bike riding. And you're just going to have a lot less people than you're used to seeing if you're in like the Bay Area.
Oh, sure. Or traffic.
Yeah, there's no traffic.
Or people texting
we think we have traffic in Ukiah when you have to wait 10 seconds.
Yeah, people texting on their phones while driving and you're on your road bike. It's not a good combination. It's not a good mix at all. Yeah. Well, I want to say that I'll see you later, but if I'm in one of these locations, I'm not going to see you because there's nobody around. Probably not.
Probably not. Well, thank you. I mean, I guess I didn't really say thank you for giving me the opportunity to meet with you out here. It's just a beautiful location. I appreciate you getting me out of the office to talk about stuff that I love.
Well, I enjoy this too. I'm just learning so much, and I can't wait till I'm able to spread the wealth of information to other people and encourage people. People in the Bay Area are looking for other areas. I know I get tired of riding my bike around the same locations, so this is cool.
So people can go to mendotrails.org and get information about where trails are. And Trail Forks is the app that I recommend for finding trails. And so Trail Forks app or mendotrails.org are great ways to find that.
We'll make sure we post that on the website as well.
Yeah.
Well, you're just wonderful.
I know I am. So are you. So are you. Thanks for the opportunity to talk.
Shall we go ahead and continue our hike?
Sure.
Okay, let's
go.
Coming up next, how about riding your bike on the boardwalk in Fort Bragg? We've got you covered. Pump up your tires. We will be right back.
In the heart of Mendocino, the seasons unfold, painting the landscape in vibrant hues of green and gold. As summer awakens, Lake Mendocino mirrors the blue skies above. Here, ancient oaks skirt the water's edge, and wildlife dances across the water. This is a place where peace finds you, and the soft lapping of the lake's pulse sings a song of summertime. Mendocino, magic is real.
Welcome back to Magic is Real. One of my favorite places in Fort Bragg to rest my head after a fun day along the Mendocino coast is the Beachcomber Motel. I jumped off my bike long enough to talk with John Glidewell. He is the regional manager of hotel operations with the Beachcomber Hotel Group. A big title means John has a big job. Hi there and welcome back to Visit Mendocino County. Magic is real. Not only is the Beachcomber Hotel a mainstay here in Fort Bragg, but it's a place to stay, not only for the wonderful accommodations, but all the fun and activities here. So we're bringing in John Glidewell. He is the regional director of Beachcomber Hotel Group. And John, I am just blown away by not only the views here, but by all the things you have to offer.
Great, glad to have you here. Thanks for coming.
Thanks. So first off, talk about that wonderful boardwalk out there and the bikes.
Yes, and before I tell you all about the wonderful coastal trail, I want to tell you a little bit more about our Beachcomber Hotel Group.
Okay.
Beachcomber Motel from 1972. This is our 52nd year here. Has 68 rooms, almost all of them with the full ocean views you see out there right now. It's one of our 4 hotels in Fort Bragg. So altogether we have 206 rooms. We have an adjacent property just here with similarly wonderful ocean views. We also have a great property overlooking the harbor called the Harbor Light Lodge. We also have the Beach House Inn, which is across the street and has views of the Pudding Creek estuary. So all 4 of our properties are on the water properties.
Beautiful.
But one of my favorites, the Beachcomber, our flagship, sits on the California Coastal Trail.
Yes.
Which is an excellent place for bike riding, walking the dog, just taking a stroll, and you'll see a bunch of different outlets, pathways from the path down onto the beach. So it's really an accessible spot for really anyone of all ages to come and enjoy.
Besides in Southern California, I cannot think of another hotel or motel in which you can literally just walk right on outside of your room and you're right on the ocean. And you have that availability, that accessibility.
I know it, and even traveling up and down the state in other areas, it's amazing. I think what people forget about the Northern California and the Mendocino experience is All of these things still exist. They're accessible, and you don't have to pay a crazy fee to come and enjoy them.
That's right. And I've been looking at you and listening to me, trust me, listening to you, and I see dogs also. People are bringing their dogs.
Yeah. Extremely pet friendly. We advocate for folks to bring their dogs, their pets, because there's so much of the area that can be enjoyed by people and their four-legged friends.
So how long have you been here in Fort Bragg?
I've been here 11 years. Didn't know how long I'd be here when I got here, but love it so much that my family and I decided we wanted to stay.
And where are you from?
I'm from Oregon, moved it over and enjoyed some time in Washington, Nevada, Idaho, but eventually found Fort Bragg, California as my home.
So you do have a lot of activities here. Do you think that's what drives a lot of people to the Beachcomber?
I think so. I think being able to come and sit in your room on the balcony and enjoy the sound of the waves and watch the ocean is one part of it. But being able to access the coastal trail and the surrounding state park, being able to walk or ride your bike into town for wonderful restaurants. We also have 3 excellent breweries right in town.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of that is why people come, but we also have tremendous events that are here annually, like the Crab and Wine Days.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, we have just so many fun things to do that everyone can enjoy.
But you also have music.
Yes, we do, and occasionally we'll have guest musicians out on our fire pit deck. So we'll encourage people to roast s'mores while listening to live music and drink their wine. And it's just kind of a nice backdrop with the waves in the background.
Yeah, I believe my son, and the reason why I knew you had music, my son has brought his dog, and they have been out here at one of your fire pits listening to music, and it doesn't get much better than that.
Great, yeah.
Except you do have a little bit of an activity that I've been very intrigued about.
Oh, what is that?
A little bit of cycling, perhaps?
I think so. That's one of our most popular things here to do. And we get not only our guests, but anyone staying in and around the area can come and enjoy our beach cruiser bike rentals.
So are they a rental as far as a fee is concerned, or is it being part of a guest?
We have packages where they're included, but if you choose not to book that package and want to just take them out for an hour or a half day or a full day, that's available as well for a fee.
Oh, that's very cool. And
Yeah.
how far is the ride?
Well, the ride, we sit pretty much on the middle of the coastal trail, so you can go miles in either direction. From here all the way down to the harbor is about 3.5, 4 miles. You can also go north to McCarraker State Park to see that beautiful boardwalk and those tide pools. That's another 3 miles or so.
Oh,
So it's a
okay.
great distance, yeah.
Yeah, it is. You go there and back and there and back, and before you know it, you're like circuit training.
There you go.
I like that idea. And these bikes are pretty easy to handle.
They are. They're single-speed beach cruisers, so
Okay.
you don't need any training. As long as you know how to ride a bike, then you're ready to go.
Do you have any with training wheels?
No, I'm sorry, we
Just
don't.
So you don't have to be an expert on a bike to come on out and ride the
No, you do
beach
not.
cruisers. Okay,
No.
very cool there. Do you get to pick your own color?
Well, that's true. We have a couple of different colors, so if you're feeling fancy, you can choose bright pink, or if you want to go a little more casual, we got black.
Oh, that's very nice. Okay, and you get to enjoy the wonderful view at the same time. Well, maybe I can give it a little test drive.
Oh, certainly. Now we can probably stop talking and put our words into action because I
Okay.
got something for you.
Okay, let's see. For me? Yep.
Time to go out and enjoy the bike ride.
Yay! And you include the helmets.
Oh, certainly yes.
Okay, and I do highly recommend to anybody, whether it's just a little boardwalk cruise or if you're going out in the forest and you're mountain biking, you need to wear a helmet at all times.
Be safe, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to give it a go. All right, want to come along? Come on.
Oh, we're not done with bikes or hikes yet. Coming up next, we're traveling to the thick of the forest in Mendocino County.
In the heart of Mendocino, the seasons unfold, painting the landscape in vibrant hues of green and gold. As summer awakens, Lake Mendocino mirrors the blue skies above. Here, ancient oaks skirt the water's edge, and wildlife dances across the water. This is a place where peace finds you, and the soft lapping of the lake's pulse sings a song of summertime. Mendocino, magic is real.
Welcome back to Magic is Real. Rue Harris, he's a renowned champion cyclist, as well as a local who knows Mendocino County, and I'm talking the whole county like the back of his hand. He is a local trail master. So I'm with Rue, our cycling enthusiast, and tell us where we are today because this is heaven on earth.
Well, this is called the Casper Scales area. This is one trail of probably 40 or 50 trails that we have in the Jackson Demonstration Forest. It's the largest state forest in California at 48,600 acres. It was acquired by the state of California in 1947, and it has been a working forest ever since.
It's a working forest. It's a state forest, and it's okay for people to bring their bikes on these trails and cycle?
Yep, and this is an equestrian trail as well as a hiking trail.
And walking.
Yep.
So you can come to Mendocino County, and you can come to Casper, which is in between Fort Bragg and Mendocino. And you could walk, you can hike, you could talk, and you could cycle.
Well, this is one of probably 8 or 10 trailheads that we have here. Everything from about Highway 20 south of Fort Bragg to the town of Mendocino is rideable. And in that area is approximately about 200 miles of trails, single and double track trails. And when I say double track, that's mostly old fire roads that have grown over.
How is the cycling population here throughout Mendocino County?
It's small for the most part. You know, we have been using mountain biking as a way of promoting the area, its economy, trying to get people to come out of the greater Bay Area to recreate here.
Well, I think it's a terrific idea because I am a cyclist, mainly road, but I'm starting to lean more towards off-road. I'm very interested in gravel riding because, and one of my main reasons is I've been cycling for a couple of decades and I'm finding it to become notoriously dangerous. More people on the roads, but more people with phones texting on the roads. And I've had a couple of hairy situations. Gravel and mountain biking, is it a growing population here in Mendocino County?
I think the enthusiasm overall in the northern part of the state is growing. We have a small club here of about 75 members called the Mendocino Coast Cyclists. We have activities like the Mendo Hopper or the Ibis Migration that bring in people from all over the world, actually.
And these are bike races?
No, they're bike events.
Bike events,
Yeah.
Okay, not races.
Well, I would
Bike
say
events
that,
where you could gather and have a good time and you go at your own speed?
yeah, Mendocino Hopper, put out by Miguel Crawford, is a race. It's a series of bike races, whereas the Mendocino Migration is a gathering down in the Mendocino Woodlands State Park. And people stay there for 4 days, food, beverage, and all the guiding they can possibly do.
So tell me, I am standing right here on a trail in Casper and Mendocino County and the largest forest trail in the state, right? And we're the only people here. Why is that?
Well, we're getting discovered though.
Okay.
In 2011, we had a mountain bike festival here that went over quite well, but was never repeated. And it wasn't until 2016 that Bike Magazine sent a writer by the name of Yuri Hulsfeld and a cameraman from Salt Lake City to do an article on us. And that article came out, and immediately we started getting recognition, which is nice because we felt like with the economy sort of in the doldrums here on the coast, what is the best way to maybe attract people? And it should be recreation.
It should be recreation, especially when it is just so glorious and beautiful. Even on a brisk, cool day, it is spectacular and it's needed to be outside. Yeah, you need to get out from a cubicle and get outside and stretch and bike. You know, I find cycling, I've been running for 40 years, over 40 years, and I find cycling is now what I need to do to preserve my body for the long term, right? Yes. Cycling and swimming. And so tell me, What does this particular state park have to offer? How many miles?
It's state forest.
State forest. State forest. It's not even a park. It's a
Yeah,
forest.
it's a forest. We are connected to Russian Gulch State Park,
And that's gorgeous.
and that's gorgeous as well. It's some of the prettiest redwoods.
And waterfalls.
And there's a waterfall, yeah. So,
Okay, one waterfall.
the thing about this area, it is still wild. You don't see a lot of people, as you notice. What we're encountering is, like I said, is a resurgence in recreation. And as you said, you know, recreation is great as long as you do it consistently. You know, as you get older, your body is not going to allow you to sit and be able to recreate easily. You have to recreate every day somehow.
I think what's also important is to getting the kids outside, get them off the computers, get them off the phone, get them off their, you know, TikTok, and get them out here to enjoy this. For example, we were talking about all the different kinds of pine trees in this forest. We're talking about the beautiful flowers. Are there any vermins, any kind of animals I need to know about?
Oh, we have mountain lions. We have black bear.
Yeah. But they don't like Mexican food, so I'm pretty safe.
Okay.
Okay, so would I see any when I'm cycling or no? I know when I go, I've been to Alaska fishing before and I had to wear bells.
Oh, for bears?
Bear bells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you recommend that when you're
No.
out cycling? You don't have to worry about
No,
that.
I've
Okay.
run across a number of black bear and 3 mountain lions in my time here on the coast, and they want nothing to do with you.
It's funny, one time my father sent me some bear spray because he didn't like me out running the foothills alone. And it's like the bear can spray of mace is like this large. It's like, Dad, I can't run with that. But I got it. I got what you're saying here. So this is a beautiful area, and most of the time we hear people saying, shh, go away, this is secretive, or we don't want you invading our territory. But you're saying, come.
Yeah, come and enjoy it. We have a lot of motels here. We've got good restaurants at Fort Bragg, Mendocino.
Oh, yes, you do.
And
Fresh air.
huh?
Fresh air.
Fresh air, right off the ocean.
And some of the nicest people around.
This is paradise.
Well, that does it for this month's episode of Visit Mendocino County. Magic is real. I'm Roberta Gonzales. Thank you so much for joining us for hiking, biking, and everything you need to know to visit Mendocino County. We'll see you next time.